20 days of trip to Singapore and Thailand, we ended up spending 2 lakh rupees. Hey everyone, this is Tejaswini Thumati. Welcome to my channel. I make videos on food, travel and lifestyle. In case you like the content that I create here, then please do consider subscribing to my channel for more such content. One of the most asked questions after we got back from our trip to Singapore and Thailand is, what was our budget for our 20 days backpacking trip? So in today's video, I'm going to share exactly that with you guys. To start off with, let me give you a few disclaimers. Firstly, if you want to go on a budget trip or a luxury trip, totally depends on your choice. If your budget is tight, then you can plan accordingly and stay at hostels or low-end places. While if your budget is more, then you can plan accordingly and stay at fancy places and do fancy things. What we wanted from this trip was to explore as much as we can and to stay at a decent place and enjoy local food. As exploring was our preference, we would end up spending very little time in the hotel. So we decided to stay at a decent place. So the budget totally depends on where you want to stay and what you want to do. Secondly, whatever I'm going to share now in this video doesn't mean you need that much money for your 20 days trip to Singapore and Thailand. You can do it for much more cheaper or expensive. This is just the breakdown of how much we spent on our trip to Singapore and Thailand for 20 days. So now let me tell you guys exactly how much we spent on our 20 days backpacking trip. We spent around 2,300,000 rupees for two of us. If you plan right, you can easily do abroad trips without burning your pockets. Do let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video on how we plan our trips. I'll definitely consider making a video if many of you are interested. So now let me give you a breakdown of everything that we spent on. We took total of 5 flights in this trip. We went with AirAsia as it was reasonably priced. Our first 2 flights were from Bengaluru to Kuala Lumpur and then from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. It costed us 15,670 rupees for 2 of us. Our third flight was from Singapore to Phuket, which costed us 7,000 rupees for 2 of us. Our fourth flight was from Phuket to Bangkok, which costed us 4,250 rupees for 2 of us. And our final flight was from Bangkok to Bengaluru, which costed us 14,390 rupees for 2 of us. So, in total, for 5 flights, it costed us 41,310 rupees for 2 of us. The price we end up spending on accommodation totally depends on our preferences. We can choose to stay at hostels, hotels or resorts depending on our budget. As this was our backpacking trip, initially we had decided to stay at hostels. But after doing some research, we realized that for 2 of us, staying at hostels or hotels didn't make a huge difference. So we decided to stay at hotels and resorts. In Singapore, we decided to stay at a place which was a little far away from the main attraction, as the stay was very expensive in those areas. So our preference was to stay at a hotel which was close by to MRT stations and bus stations. So we decided to stay at Hybee's Ruby, which was around 200 meters away from a bus station and 500 meters away from a MRT station. It costed us around 20,000 rupees for 5 nights. In Phuket, we stayed at Coconut Village Resort, which costed us 8,047 rupees for 6 nights. In Pattaya, we stayed at Sunshine Hotel and Residences, which costed us 4,062 rupees for 2 nights. In Bangkok, we stayed at 2 different places. First, we stayed at Alt Hotel Nana. At last, we stayed at BioK Sky Hotel. It was a great experience. From both the places, it costed us 9,981 rupees for 5 nights. So, totally we spent 42,090 rupees on our accommodation. For Singapore visa, it costed us 7,000 rupees for 2 of us. This price usually varies depending upon the agent that you go to. For Thailand, we took visa on arrival, for which we paid through the cash that we carried. For Thailand, when we traveled, medical insurance was mandatory, so we got done our insurance online from ICICI. We took insurance for both Singapore and Thailand as it didn't make a huge difference. It costed us around 1,400 rupees for 2 of us. We had pre-booked all the entry tickets to the places that we visited in Singapore online. It costed us 30,000 rupees for 2 of us. Again, this price depends on the places that you want to visit. We exchange the currency here before traveling. You can take a little cash and carry your cards accordingly. We got 500 Singapore dollars and 26,000 bahts exchange here, which costed us 90,000 rupees. And we had carried our international cards for emergency. But we didn't end up spending the whole cash that we carried, and we never used our card anywhere. Now let me give you the breakdown of the cash that we spent. In Singapore, we majorly spent on local commute, shopping and food. As we stayed at a place which was a little far away from the main attraction, we ended up spending a few dollars more on local commute. We spent around 70 Singapore dollars on local commute, including both buses and MRTs. As this was a backpacking trip and we still had a long way to go, we didn't shop much in Singapore. We spent around $50 on shopping. In Singapore, our hotel didn't have breakfast included in the package, so we had all our meals outside. Hence, we ended up spending 280 Singapore dollars on our food. This again depends on your food preferences. So, in total, we spent around 400 Singapore dollars. The first thing that we spent cash in Thailand was on visa. Visa costed us 4,000 bahts for 2 of us. We mostly used two-wheelers and taxis in Thailand. Including taxis, two-wheelers, tuk-tuk, bus, fuel and parking charges, we spent 4,995 baht for local commute. As this was our backpacking trip, we did give our clothes for laundry. For laundry, it costed us 120 baht. For the island tours and entry tickets, we ended up spending 3,500 bahts. We ended up spending 1,100 bahts on massages, which you can totally reduce or skip depending on your interest. I went a little crazy on shopping in Bangkok, so we ended up spending 4,000 bahts on shopping. Food in Thailand is crazy. If you're a foodie, do explore the local food joints and night markets. Indian food is easily available in Thailand, but it is a little expensive. In Thailand, all the places that we stayed at had breakfast included in their package. We ended up spending 6,300 bahts on food for 2 weeks. We ended up spending 400 Singapore dollars and 24,000 bahts, which came up to 78,500 rupees. So, in total, it comes up to 2,300,000 rupees. So, this is how we spent 2,00,000 rupees for our 20 days backpacking trip to Singapore and Thailand. If you're planning on a trip to Singapore or Thailand and need any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to share my experience with you guys. See you guys soon with my next video. Till then, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.